This traditional watermill can grind over 550 pounds of flour in a single day. This is the Lurgashall Watermill at Weald and Downland Museum in Singleton, West Sussex.
The way we make the flour is exactly the same way as it's been made for generations. The wheat goes in at the top, the flour comes out at the bottom. We don't add anything in at all, we don't take anything out.
The Lurgashall mill dates to the 17th century, but despite being over 400 years old, it hasn't always been in the same location. Its original site was the Lurgashall village in West Sussex, which it is named after. The original mill had 2 water wheels in tandem, each wheel driving its own independent set of machinery. With time, only the tail water wheel remained in use, and the cast iron wheel replaced the wooden one. The Lurgashall mill was incorporated into the museum in 1973. The museum carried out restoration works of the machinery and the interior, but it was still lacking something essential.
The problem was that on this site we don't have a river. So we had to engineer a whole water system, dig out a big pond and line it, because underneath is chalk, which absorbs the water. And then below the wheel we need another pond to collect the water. That had to be dug out and lined. And because there's no river, we have to pump that water back up and reuse it.
Nowadays, the mill is used for grinding corn, flour and animal feed. It supplies to small bakers and farm shops around the Singleton village. We follow the journey of a bag of wheat as it is milled into flour. The mill is structured over 3 floors. The top floor, where grain is fed from, the first floor, or stone floor, where the grinding takes place, and the ground floor, or spout floor, where a horizontal shaft connects the water wheel to the machinery.
The mill's driven by water, and so we need to have water flowing over the water wheel. We start the mill by taking a very large spanner up to the sluice gates, which control where the water comes out of the big mill pond. We open the sluice gate. The water then flows along a channel at the back of the mill until it reaches the water wheel. And it starts to fill up what we call buckets. They don't look like the bucket that you would use for cleaning the floor or something like that, but each slot contains water. And we need to fill about 4 of those before the weight of the water makes the wheel turn. And then the water tops up the next one and the next one, so it keeps turning continuously.
The mill is 12 feet in diameter. When grinding, it turns at about 6 revolutions per minute. Each complete turn is powered by 200 gallons of water.
When we need to mill, we take a bag into the mill and we use a chain hoist to lift it up to the top floor of the mill. We then open the bag. Sometimes the string will pull, sometimes we have to use scissors, and we then pour it down the chute into a hopper above the machinery.
In this big barrel there are 2 stones, just like these miniature ones. The bottom one, called the bed stone, that doesn't move. The top one, called the runner stone, is turned by the machinery and is the one that is actually doing the grinding.
We can control the grade of the flour by the amount of grain that we put in and the distance apart of the stones. And everything is checked by what's known as the rule of thumb. With no gauges, no machinery, we just use our thumb and our forefinger, and if it feels right, it is right.
Overall, the stones rotate 13.5 times each rotation of the water wheel at an average speed of 80 revolutions per minute.
I enjoy the fact that when I come to the museum, at the end of the day, I can look at a pile of flour and say, I helped to make that. And because we're also a museum and we have visitors, it's fascinating to talk to the visitors, and some of them tell me stories about how they've seen a mill being used when they were children. You get people who come from various parts of the world telling us how it was used. One lady from Cambodia told me how to make rice noodles using one.